Good day, listeners. I'm Rian Dimusuid together with my group mates. Before we're gonna start our presentation, let me ask you a question. Are you familiar with business letters and memorandum?
Here's our objectives. First, define a business letter and its purpose. Identify key components and formats of a business letter. Understand the types of business letters and their uses. What is memorandum? And differentiate between business letters and memorandum.
Alright, so what exactly is a business letter? By definition, a business letter is a formal communication used by a company for internal or external purposes. It must be professional, neat, and presentable. So to break that down into a more simple and understandable way, a business letter is basically just your voice in writing. Whether you want to reach out to someone in a more serious and formal way, either your client, another company, or even someone within your own workplace, this is the format you use.
I am Rachel Salasayo, and now I am going to explain those four purposes of a business letter. So the first one is introduce products or services. This is used when a company wants to tell people about something new it offers. It could be a product, a service, or even an upgrade. Second purpose is showing gestures of appreciation. So this is all about showing gratitude. A company uses letters to thank their partners, employees, or business partners. So the third purpose is thanking business partners or clients. So this is a simple way to thank their business partners. So the last purpose is providing incentives. So this is when a company gives discounts to their customers and encourage them to buy their new product.
So another example about business letter is could be file compliance. This purpose is used when a customer, employee, or another company wants to report a problem. A compliant letter explains what went wrong and raise the company to fix the issue. It could be about late delivery or unfair treatment. Another purpose could be about suggesting solution. This purpose is used when a person or a company wants to propose an idea that can help improve a situation to fix a problem or make operation better.
Another purpose of a business letter is applying for a position. This means writing a job application letter to show your interest in working for a company. A job application letter is very important because it's usually the first impression the employer will have of you. Before they meet you in person, they already get an idea of your attitude and professionalism through your letter. That's why it must show that you are qualified, respectful, and serious about the job. A clear, well-written letter can help you stand out among other applicants. In writing this letter, you need to introduce yourself, state what job you're applying for, highlight your skills and qualification, and politely ask for an interview. The last purpose of a business letter is to inform employees or clients. This type of letter is used to share important information. In informing employees, companies send letters to employees when they need to communicate things like new work schedules, new rules or policies, warnings or reminders, changes in duties, and updates about benefits or salary. This keeps everything clear and avoid misunderstandings. So in informing clients also receive business letters, especially when something important needs to be explained or announced. This may include new products, price changes, service updates, confirmation of orders, responses to complaints. Letters to clients help maintain trust and transparency. These letters help companies communicate clearly with their workers and customers. They prevent confusion and build trust between the company and the people connected to it. Letters that inform are important because they keep everyone updated and aware of changes or events.
Parts of a business letter. Heading. This is a return address of the sender. It contains the sender's address and contact information. It identifies where the letter is coming from. There are two kinds of heading: the conventional heading and the modern heading. Conventional heading. It contains a home address with the number of the house, street, Barangay, municipality, or city. This is on the right side of the paper, and the left side, keep it full black style with one each at the sign of the top. Modern heading. The heading is written at the center top with 1-inch margin. It contains the name and the logo of the company, address, telephone number, fax number, and email address. There must be 1 to 2 spaces between the address and the date. Modern heading. The heading is written at the center top with a 1-inch margin. It contains the name and logo of the company, address, telephone number, fax number, and email address. There must be 1 to 2 spaces between the address and the date. Next, the date. It indicates when the letter was written, placed below the heading. In modern business letter, the block format is more commonly used where all the information is aligned to the left margin. However, some companies still use the conventional heading as format. Keep in mind that the format may vary depending on the company style and preference.
Next is the inside address. It is the recipient's address on an envelope or letter, placed below the sender's address. It typically includes the recipient's name or title, department or position, company or organization name, street address, city or municipality, province or state, postal code, and country of international. This address ensures the letter reaches the intended recipient, especially in large organizations. And lastly, is in a business letter, the salutation is a formal greeting which addresses the recipient, typically starting with "Dear," followed by the title and last name, such as "Dear Mr. Smith" or "Dear Dr. Lee." It's a professional way to begin the letter, showing respect and courtesy to the recipient.
So good day! Another part of a business letter is introduction. What is introduction? So introduction, it talks about the opening part of the letter. So it also talks about what are the goals, why you are writing a business letter. The next one is the body. In the body, you're gonna talk about what are the purpose or what are the detailed purpose why you are writing the business letter. You're gonna talk about the intricacies, the details, and also the purpose or the objectives why you are writing a business letter. And lastly, the conclusion. The conclusion or the last part of the business letter where you're gonna conclude everything you put it on, and also you're gonna hope that the other side of the paper we're gonna see your letter. So that's all. Thank you.
Next is the complementary clause. Complementary clause is a phrase or word that appears at the end of a letter before the signature line. It signals the conclusion of the message that conveys respect, politeness, or goodwill. Some example of this includes respectfully yours, yours truly, and yours truly. And now, let's go on to the last part of business letter. Last is the signature line. Signature line is a section immediately following the complementary clause where the sender signs their name, either handwritten or electronically. It typically includes the full name of the sender. The signature line verifies the sender's identity and adds authenticity to the message.
So now, we'll tackle about miscellaneous elements. There are 3 types of miscellaneous elements. First is reference line, second is subject line, then the third is attention line. The question is, what is miscellaneous elements? Miscellaneous elements are important because they capture valuable details. They don't fit into main categories, helping create more complete and organized understanding of a topic. They prevent important information from being overlooked and add flexibility by covering unique unexpected items that will contribute to the overall purpose. As I mentioned earlier, there are 3 types of miscellaneous elements. The first one is reference line. This is usually the sequential number on the upper portion of the letter. Next is attention line. Usually the head chief of supervisor in charge written the double space after the inside address. The third one is subject line. This is the main topic of the letter found after the attention line or the other inside address. Is there in no attention line? Reference line to help organize and codify a specific business letter so it can be easily found or referred to the future. So here are example of a reference line number. So here is 2025/0.5. This is the usually used in the upper reference number so we can easily track by its date it's used. Next is attention line. To direct a letter to a specific person in the company so it reaches the right person quickly. So like example, attention line is Mr. Juan de la Cruz, head of documents. So this shows that the sender must be Juan de la Cruz, head of document. Next is subject line. To clearly state the main topic of a reason of writing the letter, it helps the reader understand the purpose right away without reading the whole context. Example of a subject line: request for leave of absence. In conclusion, miscellaneous elements such as the attention line as a reference line play an essential role in creating clear and organized business letters. The attention line helps direct message of the correct person, department, making sure that the letter reaches someone who can respond properly. Meanwhile, the reference line provides a quick guide to a subject or file being discussed.
Next is the identification notation, also known as reference initial. Initials of the writer in all caps and the initials of the typist in all small letters separated by colon or slant line below the signature either on the left side or right margin, depending on the letter's form. For example, uppercase KD. These are the capital initials of the writer or the person who is dictated in letter. In this case, KD means Kenya Davis, which means Kenya Davis is the writer or the person who is dictated in the letter. Another example is slant lowercase kc. These are the lowercase initials of the typist or the person who has keyed the letter. In this case, lowercase kc stands for Kim Chan, which means Kim Chan is the typist or the person who keyed the letter. Next is the enclosure notation. It represents the item or items included inside the envelope beside the letter. It has single and multiple enclosure. The abbreviation of single enclosure is ENCL dot, which means enclosure, while the multiple enclosure, the abbreviation with number ENCL colon 3, which means plural word and number of enclosures 3. Business letter is usually used in paper size 8.5 by 11 or A4. The color must be pure white unless branded stationery. Margins, 1 inch all size. Fonts, Arial or Times New Roman with a font size of 11 or 12.
So now, let's talk about the 5 different formats of business letters. So these are the 5 different formats of business letters. First is the full block. Second is the modified format. Third is the indented format. The fourth is the hanging indented format. And last but not the least is the simplified format. So let me explain first the full block format. This format is all parts of the letter, the headings, the date, the signature, the body are all aligned in the left margin. So this is the address. Here is the example. This is the headings. This is the body. And your signature is here. All parts of the letter are aligned in the left margin. So next is the modified format. This is a variation of standard format such as a citation or document layout that adapts or changes certain elements for a specific purpose. Example is this is the body and the address. You can move the address and your name on the right side and your signature here also on the right side. That is why is it called a modified format. This is a variation of standard format such as a citation or document layout that adapts or changes certain elements for a specific purpose. Example is you can shorten your fields, alter indentation or order, rather than strictly following the full version. Example is you can shorten your address cannot matter anymore. Here is your address, here is your body, and you can shorten your body and directly go to your signature and name. That is why it is called a modified format. Next is the indented format. This format is a paragraph starts with an indented first line, making it look more traditional. So the example is, here is your address and the date. The first paragraph starts with an indent here on the left margin, here, and the following lines are straight. And when you start another paragraph, start with an indented first line, just like this. This is another paragraph. And continue with your signature and your name. And next is the hanging indented format. This is like the opposite of indented format. The first line stays at the left while the following lines are indented. Example is here. This is your first line and this is the following lines. This is more common on references or the bibliography, where the first line is here and the following lines are indented at the left margin. And last but not the least is the simplified format. This is a simpler version of the standard format that removes or reduces non-essential parts to make the letter easier to write and read. Example is, pwede nimo siya kuhaan sa imong address. Diari, pwede lang mo diretso og date. Tas ang body nimo, just a simple layout. Ana lang siya. Tas less punctuation kay para dali siya masabtan og mabasahan. Then dire na imo ang signature og ngalan. Mas simple ni siya nga version sa standard format. Kaya ang uban nga dili kayo importante nga parte kay giwala siya or minimal lang. Gihimo ni aron mas dali sabton og mas dali basahon. And that is all the different kinds of formats of business letters.
We have 7 examples of business letters. The first one is application letter. Now, we have 2 kinds of application letter. The first one is solicited application letter. Based on the description given, solicited letters is the response to the announcement of the hiring through newspapers, billboards, or even by the words of the employer. In simple terms, this is the letter you send to the company in response to a job interview or opening that has been officially announced by the company. Another kind of application letter is the unsolicited letters. These are written for a chance of getting hired. For further explanation, these letters are sent to a company even when they haven't announced any job openings or interviews. Your purpose in sending this letter is to express your interest in working with the company and to inquire for potential future opportunities.
Here are the guidelines in the writing in the application letter. The first one is mention the source of the job information. If solicited, include name of newspaper or website, date of posting, and name of person who refers you. In unsolicited and you are applying to explore the possible opportunities. The second one is state your intention in applying for a specific position. Clearly mention the position you are applying for and avoid vague statements. And the third one, list down your qualifications. Include educational background, skills and competencies, training or certifications, and relevant achievements. The fourth one, mention your experience. Highlights the post-job rules. Emphasize responsibilities related to the target position and mention accomplishment to show capability. The fifth one is cite your reason for seeking another job. Keep it positive and professional. The sixth one is request for a personal interview. Politely request an opportunity to discuss your qualifications and shows confidence and interest. 7. Give your telephone number. Include your mobile number, email address, and any other reliable contact details. And the last one, submit your resume and other documents. Mention the documents you include: resume, certificate, transcript if needed, portfolio if applicable, and ensure your application letter is complete. And thank you.
The second example of business letter is sales letter. A sales letter is a written communication to sell commodities, services, and ideas. Sometimes we have something to offer to our prospective buyers that would give them a lot of benefits. It is through a letter that we can tell them in detail what product we want them to have. The letter should attract the reader, describe the product, and convinces the reader to act. The purpose of sales letter is to send information, news, and greetings. Example, mag-introduce ka new products or services to existing and potential customers. And also, another examples are letter of invitation and letter of resignation, thank you letter, announcement letter, and the last one is resume.
Memorandum. Memorandum is derived from the Latin word memorare, which means to remember. The plural of memorandums is memorandums or memoranda, and it is often called as memo. Memorandum is a written statement prepared specially for a person in order to communicate and give them information in a particular period. It is someone communicating in the company itself and not to interfere with other company. Memorandum has to, from, and subject, which is called as the military style. The body of the memorandum emphasizes with numbers, key points, bullet forms, and even the subheadings in order to emphasize the key points of the contents. Memorandum is very useful in announcements, dissemination of information, directive, and reminders. That's all.